if you're hearing this, please let us know. Let someone know where she is. It's been 5 days now. Her children needs her. We miss her. We love her.
Elaine, what has your experience with him been like previously? Is this...
On the morning of November 12th, 2023, surveillance cameras at a storage facility in Apopka, Florida, captured two people walking into a storage unit. Only one of them walked back out. A few hours later, the same man was at a different address across Orange County, firing shots into a house where another woman was trying to run for her life. By the time police had him in handcuffs that morning, Shakeira Rucker had been inside that storage unit for hours. Her family did not know where she was, and they would not know for 6 more days.
It's hard not knowing nothing, not knowing where to start. It's hard. Even though we can't find her right now, there's still a possibility. So we are still staying strong and having faith and hoping that she's alive and we just find her. She's just waiting. We should be planning for Thanksgiving. This is not right.
When they finally found her, the answer had been sitting behind a locked door the entire time while everyone searched somewhere else. Before we get started, drop your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe and like this video so you don't miss out on more cases like this. Her name was Shakeira Rucker, and in Winter Springs, Florida, that name meant something before she even walked into a room. She was a hair braider. Kira, the braider, was what people called her, and that name carried 15 years of showing up on time, remembering what her clients told her, and doing the kind of work that brings people back not because they have to, but because they want to. A braider spends hours with the same person. Hours of conversation and quiet, and the particular intimacy that comes from someone working close enough to you that pretending becomes too much effort. Shakeira gave people that space, and they trusted her with it. She had 4 children, and everything she built around them. The youngest was 7, the oldest was 18. 4 different stages of needing their mother in 4 completely different ways, and she showed up for all of them. Her brother described her simply when someone asked. All she wanted was to work, go to church, and take care of her children.
A caring person. She cared about her kids. All she wanted to do, work, go to church, and just live, and have fun.
That was the full shape of what she wanted from her life. And she did not apologize for how ordinary it sounded, because she understood that ordinary done right is harder than most people admit. She had grown up in a community and stayed in one because staying mattered to her. Winter Springs was not a place she passed through. It was the place she chose to plant herself and her children and her work. The people around her knew her routines. They knew which days she worked, and which days she was at church, and what time she left to pick up the kids. That kind of knowing only happens when someone has been present long enough that their absence would leave a visible gap. She was 37 years old. She had a business she had built with her own hands, 4 children she was still raising, and a community that had grown accustomed to her being exactly where she said she would be. On October 25th, 2022, she married a man named Cory Hill. He called himself Ambassador Cory. That was the name he used in the church community where he had built his reputation in Winter Springs. He ran an electrical business. He posted about faith. He posted about his wife the way a man posts when he wants a specific audience to see a specific version of himself constantly, publicly, with the kind of detail that leaves no room for doubt. Birthday photos with captions about gratitude, Valentine's Day posts, pictures of the 2 of them at dinner, at events, in moments that looked exactly like what a happy marriage is supposed to look like.
I love my queen. She's my everything. Smile for her.
What nobody in that community knew was that the man posting those photographs had already killed someone. In 1992 in Virginia, he was convicted of second-degree murder.
They say his refusal to talk is why he's a person of interest. Right now, he isn't accused of harming Rucker, but he has been accused of violent crimes in the past. He was convicted of murdering a man named Dontwain Cornelius Everett. Court records I obtained from Suffolk County, Virginia, show that around 7 in the morning, 2 days before Christmas in 1992, Hill was talking with 18-year-old Don Everett in the front yard outside his house. The two started arguing. Hill pulled out a gun and opened fire. Everett was pronounced dead 10 minutes later. Hill was sentenced to 20 years in prison for second-degree murder and another 2 for using a firearm in the commission of a felony.
He served his time and was released in 2005. 4 years later, he was back in court on assault and battery charges. Then, in 2016, he relocated to Florida, started the electrical business, found the church community, built the Ambassador Cory identity, and began presenting himself as a man who had left all of that behind. Then he met Shakira. And then, sometime in early 2023, while he was still married to her, he started a relationship with Angel Milligan, another woman living in Orange County not far from where he ran his business. Angel had no idea he was married. He told her he was out of town for work every time he disappeared. By August of that year, he had become embedded enough in her daily life that she posted a video of him mowing her lawn before 8 in the morning, while Shakira was back in Winter Springs, believing he was somewhere else entirely. When Angel found out the truth, she called Shakira immediately. Shakira did not hesitate. She removed him from her home that same day, and within 2 months, she had her own apartment. She was done. Cory Hill responded by threatening Angel directly. She obtained a legal injunction against him. That injunction was active and in place months later when he showed up at her front door armed.
Don't run now, you're about to die, I'm gonna kill you. And I just heard gun, fires flying, and I felt 2 of them like glance past my face. And, I just went running in fear for my life.
2 days before Shakira disappeared, he updated his Facebook profile picture to a photograph of the 2 of them, his arms wrapped around her, and the caption underneath it reading, "The wind under my wings, my strawberry drop, my rib, my queen." The following day, he updated his cover photo and labeled them Mr. and Mrs. Hill. The storage unit at 2400 Wiggins Road in Apopka had already been rented in his name. That dinner on the evening of November 11th, 2023, was the first time they had been in the same room since she had removed him from her home. And surveillance cameras at a restaurant in Davenport captured them together that night, showing her sitting across from him, not smiling, and in what someone who later saw the footage described as an image that did not look right. That image is the last confirmed sighting of Shakeira Rucker alive. Cory would later tell investigators he drove her home afterward and dropped her near the mailboxes. Her family rejected that the moment they heard it. The following morning, surveillance cameras at the storage facility on Wiggins Road in Apopka recorded both of them arriving and walking in together. Then it recorded Cory walking back out, alone. Shakira did not walk out that morning. She did not walk out at any point after. Sometime between 6 and 6:30 that same morning, a text went out from Shakira's phone to her daughter. It said she was on her way home with food. Her daughter waited. Shakira never came through the door. At approximately 10 that morning, Cory arrived at Angel Milligan's home in Orange County. The first words out of his mouth when she appeared were, "Don't run now." Then he opened fire. Bullets entered the walls. Angel ran. Her family was inside the house. Cory fled and was picked up a short time later in Mount Dora. He was held with no bond. And in the moment that arrest was made, Shakira's family was still driving roads they did not know, looking for a woman who had already been found. They just did not know it yet. For 6 days, the search went on. Volunteers, family, tips that went nowhere. Her phone had last pinged 50 miles from home. Her brother told investigators that Hill's furniture had not been fully moved into his house, and that an empty house sometimes means a storage unit. But there were hundreds of storage facilities across Central Florida, and nobody knew which one until the morning of November 18th, when a neighbor renting the unit next door made his third attempt to get someone to pay attention. He had reported the smell before. He had reported the liquid seeping under the shared wall before. Staff told him both times it was probably an oil spill. This time he had it on video. This time he called 911. The facility manager cut the lock off herself. She looked inside and called for help before she had finished processing what she was looking at. Deputies arrived before 5 that afternoon. What the body cam footage recorded inside that unit was a woman with 2 tires placed over her, with blood across the floor and the walls, and a cartridge casing near her head. What the family later learned when investigators made the identification was that Shakira had been there the entire time, for 6 days, while everyone searched somewhere else. If you are following this story and you are not subscribed yet, now is the time. Like this video and stay till the end, because what came next after that discovery is the part that will stay with you longest. That discovery is what moved the case to court, and when it did, a grand jury returned a 9-count indictment with first-degree murder with a firearm as the lead charge. And the state attorney announced the same morning that the office was seeking the death penalty on the basis of 2 documented aggravating factors. First, the cold, calculated premeditation of a killing carried out in a location chosen and rented in advance, and a prior conviction from 1992 in Virginia for second-degree murder that established this was not the first time Cory Hill had taken a life. He pleaded not guilty, and his defense moved immediately to suppress every piece of evidence recovered from the storage unit, arguing the entry was unlawful. But the judge denied that motion, and the evidence stayed. What remained after that ruling was a man who had sat in a courtroom blowing kisses at Shakira's grieving family, while loved ones had to be escorted from the room, waiting for a trial that, as of the most recent public records, has not yet begun. While that trial was still being built, Shakira's people were already moving toward each other. And within 48 hours of the discovery, more than 50 family members and friends gathered at a neighborhood park in Winter Springs with candles and balloons. Not because anyone had organized it, but because that is what happens when a community loses someone who was genuinely woven into the fabric of daily life, rather than simply present at the edges of it. On December 1st, her family held a wake at a funeral home in Apopka, and the following morning, her homegoing celebration was held at Orlando West Ministries in Orlando, where family and friends were asked to wear white and black, and hundreds of people came. And her family said afterward that they had celebrated her service the way Shakira herself would have celebrated during any given church service, with the fullness that comes from a faith that was never just a performance, but something she had actually built her life around. Her sister Dedra wrote afterward that it was one of the hardest walks she had ever taken, that she could not bring herself to look at her sister in that casket, that the family had found ways to keep moving, but that keeping moving and being okay are 2 entirely different things. Shakeira Rucker is survived by her 4 children, her mother, her brothers and sisters, and a community in Winter Springs, Florida that carries her name forward every single day. Shakeira Rucker did everything the advice says to do, and it was not enough. Not because she did it wrong, but because the thing that made starting over possible, having somewhere safe and affordable to land when you leave, was something she had only just managed to find 2 months before he used a dinner invitation to close the distance she had worked so hard to put between them. That is the specific reality this case leaves behind, not a general warning about dangerous men or the importance of leaving. A specific documented gap between what we tell women to do and what we actually make available to them when they try to do it. She got out. She found her own space. She was building something new. And a man who had already been given his second chance walked back into her life and made sure she never got hers. Shakeira Yvonne Rucker was 37 years old. She had 4 children who still needed her. She had just found her own door, and she deserved every single thing that was waiting on the other side of it. If her story moved you, drop a comment below and tell us what you think about the way this case has been handled. The next investigation is already underway. Rest in peace, Shakira. Rest in peace.